Hey guys, we're delighted to have you with us, and what a treat it is. I've known of Doug and Bunny's series of concerts and things that they do out here for years and years and years. But I've been on the road all these years, 240, 250 dates a year since Moby Dick was a minnow. And I'm delighted now, since COVID came along, we found out that I could stay at the house and not starve. You know, who knew? My wife had been telling me for years, she's around here somewhere, my good wife, she's in the very back there, she's bringing up the rear. She'd been telling me for years that if I would get off the road and just stay home, that I wouldn't starve to death, and that the more I'm on the road, the more money I spend, and the more money we had to make. So I said, what? Well, go figure, she does the math. Don't you hate it when the women does the math? Holy God. Anyway, so she said, if you'll just stay home, we won't starve to death, we'll be all right. And then the pandemic came along, and I was home for 10 weeks at a time, at one time, 10 weeks in a row, I was home. And proved her right, you know what I'm saying? I didn't starve, I didn't lose no weight, I didn't skip no meals. Now the sound is Fred here, how's the sound? Is it loud enough? Up or down? Turn it up a little bit, all right? I have plenty of volume. I'm all the way down on 9. If I put it on 12, you could hear me in Tookie Doo, you know what I'm saying? Anyway, some of y'all probably know where Tookie Doo is, don't you? Anyway. My name is Carroll Brown. I'm from over in Kershaw County, between Columbia and Camden, out in the country. Our family's been there many generations, and I live across the field from my mama. And I wouldn't have it any other way. So if I can get this thing going here, Fred's going to give me a sound check. I'm already not liking the bottom of the bass. So we'll be tweaking that as we go. Here's a song I wrote coming back from Nashville on one of my trips. Love like a garden needs time to grow, day by day and row by row. Patience and labor is what you need to make your garden of love succeed. Work all day into the night, work it again till we get it right. It ain't easy, it never was. Love is a labor of love. Love is a labor of love. Love like a song needs harmony. I sing with you and you sing with me, and if we sing it strong enough, then what we feel turns into love. Work all day into the night, tend it again till we get it right. It ain't easy, it never was. Love is a labor of love. Love is a labor of love. Like a child needs, here's the verse my wife reminds me of all the time. Love like a child needs tender care. You can't tend it if you ain't there. That's a line she reminds me of all the time. You can't tend it if you ain't there. But if your love is stable and true, the love you give will come back to you. Work all day into the night, tend it again till you get it right. It ain't easy, it never was. Love is a labor of love. Work all day into the night, work it again till you get it right. It ain't easy, it never was. I wish Andy was here. Love is a labor of love. Love is a labor of love. Thank you very much. Love is a labor of love. All right, right, how's the volume sound, Fred? Is it okay? All right, good, good. Here's a song I wrote with a friend of mine while I was living and working in Nashville. I started out when I graduated college in 1977, the first thing I did is I went to New York trying to break into the music business there. I had some records, I had some recordings I had made in the bathroom because it sounded good in there. And I took them to see, I BS'd my way into Jim Croce's producer's office. Madison Avenue, New York, New York. I'll give you 3 guesses whether I got a record deal with my Crap House tapes in New York, New York. I'll give you 3 guesses. True story, true story. Anyway, I knew New York was not for me, so I went to Nashville, and I didn't really fit in Nashville either, but I wrote this song with a friend of mine from Nashville. He's from North Carolina, I'm from South Carolina. We were living and dying in Nashville, Tennessee. We were driving to Alabama to do a show and wrote a song on Interstate 65 for the group called Alabama. It's called Alabama Moon. We were going to sell it to the group called Alabama and make $1 million. By the time we got to Birmingham, we liked the song so well we decided to change it to Carolina Moon and not make a penny on it. And it worked out good. It worked out good. I reminisce about the girl I miss. I left her home. Now she's all alone. I dream of you beneath the Carolina moon. Stars in the sky accentuate her eyes on soft summer nights. Chasing fireflies, I dream of you beneath the Carolina moon. I've been on my own too doggone long, got to share that moon with you. Southern air, Jim and Julie are here, sweet southern air, blowing through her hair, homemade ice cream, front porch rocking chair. I dream of you beneath the Carolina moon. Magnolia night, a gentle willow weeping, one stolen kiss, while your dad is sleeping. I dream of you beneath the Carolina moon. I've been on my own too doggone long, got to share that moon with you. Magnolia night, gentle willow weeping, one stolen kiss, while your dad is sleeping. I dream of you beneath the Carolina moon. I see you soon, I dream of you beneath the Carolina moon. Beneath the Carolina moon. Thank you, Carolina Moon. Mike Hooks is his name. He's from Whiteville, North Carolina. Anybody know where that is? Whiteville, North Carolina, near Charlotte, near Chapin. I play some in North Carolina along the coast there, some private things, house concerts like this. And I passed through there 2 or 3 times, and I kept sending him pictures of his exit off of 74 there, you know. Anyway, Mike, his name is Mike Hooks, but he left Nashville about the same time I was leaving, during the recession in 1980. And he went to Alabama. I don't even know why, but he wound up and spent his whole life in Alabama, but he continued to do Carolina beach music. You guys know what beach music is? Oh, yeah. Well, he ain't got no dang beach in Auburn, Alabama, I can tell you that right now, but he's the biggest beach music act there is in Auburn, Alabama, anyway. But he's a big star in North Myrtle Beach and was just there 2 weeks ago with that SOS thing that they do. And But his band name is, believe it or not, sounds like I'm making it up. His band name is the Reverend Bubba Deliverance and the Cornhole Prophets. Nobody knows he is Mike Hooks, like I knew him in Nashville, and like they know him in Whiteville. They call it Whiteville, North Carolina. It's the Reverend Bubba Deliverance and the Cornhole Prophets. And they're at the top of the charts all the time with this man. Fred and I talked about it. He's listened to some of his music. Lovely, lovely guy still, and successful all these years, laughing all the way to the bank with his band name and the whole thing. I said, how cool is that? All right, guys, back to my roots and where I came from. Kershaw County, South Carolina. My family's been in South Carolina many generations. My German family came to Charleston in 1690. Charleston, 1690. They were indentured servants. They served out their time, and then they got a king's grant. As if the King of England owned the whole continent. They got a king's grant near Lexington, what is now Lexington, South Carolina. And so we've been in this part of the world a long time. My mother's side of the family were lovely, hard-working people. Humble, work ethic, God-fearing, in favor of governance and civility and religion. That was my mother's side of the family. My father's side of the family, however, were a little different. They didn't care for governance nor religion anyway. They were all Scots-Irish. Anyway, here's a little song that reminds me of some of my ancestors. And my dad was a hard man. He had "I told you so" on his lips, and he'd be glad to show it to you at any time. But my mother's the one that taught me to play the guitar. Hooked me up on all these little talent contests and had me singing in church before I could see over the front pew. My daddy was rooted in tradition, raised us children that way. Said you need roots to build a strong foundation. Stand on your own one day. Mama was full of wit and wisdom, taught us to set our sights high. Said the world is yours for the taking, so spread your wings and fly. They gave me wings to fly high above the clouds, roots to keep my feet on the ground. No matter what tomorrow may bring, I thank God for their love and the gift of roots and wings. I remember the day I was leaving for Bakersfield, California, and a tear fell from my mama's eye. I said, no, now, don't you worry. This is farewell and not goodbye. You gave me wings to fly high above the clouds, roots to keep my feet on the ground. No matter what tomorrow may bring, I thank God for their love and the gift of roots and wings. Sometimes I feel like a drifter, not knowing where this road ends. But there's comfort to know when I get weary. There's a place in Kershaw County I still go back to. They gave me wings to fly high above the clouds, roots to keep my feet on the ground. No matter what tomorrow may bring, I thank God for their love and the gift of roots and wings. Roots and wings. Roots and wings. Thank you very much. I live across across the field from my mother. She's 89 years old, and she fell the other day, so she's all banged up right now. She looks like she went 3 rounds with Cassius Clay, you know, but she's doing all right. She's got some good drugs, so it's working out good, really. But I wouldn't trade it for the world. My brother's across the field from me. My sister's across next door to me. She's right close there. I could shoot her with a rifle if I had to, you know. And I probably would every now and then, but anyway. My other sister has a house right over there, so we were right there together. Got a little commune there in Kershaw County. We're the only communist in Kershaw County, I can tell you that right now, anyway. There'd be that, but anyway. Wouldn't trade that for the world. But I grew up going to church. My mother was a piano player for 65 years in church, and every time the doors were open, we were there, and that factors into this next song that I wrote. By the way, I did not write the one that I just sang. Roots and Wings was written by my friend Ed Honeycutt, Tom Tierney, and Bob Kitchens in Charleston, my good friends down there. But this one I did write. My old dad worked 38 years with the Seaboard Railroad, and we would take him down to the train track there at the US 1, at the train track in what is now Elgin. And he'd stand by the track on Sunday afternoon because he ran the rail plant in Savannah. He would stand by the track. The train would come over the hill there. He'd wave his handkerchief, and the train would stop and pick him up. That's why the railroad lost all that money all them years. He said. Anyway, but it was just a part of our growing up. We'd go down and meet the train and put our pennies on the track. You know how you do, you know. Should we have a toast? Cheers, friends, cheers. Glad to see some folks here with their own cooler and their own libation. I brought mine too, cheers. I work a lot in the Irish pubs. In the Irish pubs, we have toast all the time. Should we have a toast? Why not? This is my first drink today. With this hand. A toast. Are you ready? May happiness knock on your front door. May it come early and stay late, and leave at your garden gate the blessed gift of peace and joy. Cheers. Cheers. God bless all here. Amen. Cheers. I wrote this song in St. Pete Beach. There's a place that lives on in my memory, and when I sit still, it comes back to me. There's a peace and a happiness that I only find back in the innocent time. Sitting on the front porch, my grandpa and me, and the wind makes a whistle in the china-berry tree. Grandpa takes off his boots, and I run to get mine back in the innocent time. Haircut on Saturday, trying to sit still. 2 boys and a daddy for a $5 bill, and for 50 cents more you get your shoes shine back in the innocent time. Sunday was for church with dinner on the grounds. When the preacher finally finished, we'd all hurry around, but the little kids had to wait at the end of the line and eat chicken necks and wings back in the innocent time. Then to the Seaboard Depot with my papa we'd go. He'd wave his handkerchief, the big train starts to slow. Then we run up and find our flat pennies and dimes back in the innocent time. High school afternoons, me and Eddie, Kelly, and Dave would hold down a table at the Elgin Cafe. The jukebox played Elvis and some new Patsy Cline back in the innocent time. 3 teenage desperados with a can of spray paint, and we wrote our initials on the new water tank. Then my papa found out, he tanned my behind back in the innocent time. I said, Papa, how'd you know it was me? He said, you wrote your own name, fool. And if I cast only one wish on the wind, well, I'd sure like to see old Papa again. And we'd go back where I've already gone in my mind, back to the innocent time. Oh, Papa, let's go back, back to the innocent time. Innocent time. Those were the days I was young and thin and fun to look at. Been a long time ago now. Just released a new album. I wrote several songs and finished several songs during the pandemic. We had a lot of time at home, and I decided to knock out some songs that I had been working on, and did an album last year, released it. I forget when that date was. Fred was with us at the CD release event down in Charleston, but my friend Fred Williams in the audience over here. Welcome, friend Fred. We're going to be, Fred and I have been hosting a songwriter event here in Columbia for some year and a half or so, ways back before the pandemic shut it all down. And we are going to have a new renewal of the songwriter event here at Doug and Bunny's beginning in October. If you look over your shoulder, there's a little nook right over there. It's a nice little nook of a spot with a stage in the very back of it. So we're going to have a little songwriter event even all through the winter, beginning on Tuesday, October the 18th. 19th? You could be wrong, Fred. I could be wrong. Well, whatever that Tuesday is. It's on my date book, so I can't miss it. It's a Tuesday. 18 or 19, whatever it is. 19. You was right, Fred. Fred's always right. Holy moly. Anyway, the title song for the new album is called Daddy's Train. A little bit more of that business about my old dad and the railroad and all that. Wrote this with my friend Larry Shira. He's from Kershaw County originally, now he's in Myrtle Beach. Retired and playing music, which means he ain't never gonna retire. Little boy in dungarees, freckled face, skin up knees, waiting with my mama for a train. Daddy worked the big iron rails, mighty stories he could tell, can't wait to see his smiling face again. Ground rumbles beneath my feet, a feeling I will always keep in my heart, deep down in my soul. Train pulls up, he hops down, lickety-split, we're homeward bound. We'll grab a dope at old man Campbell's store. Yippee, daddy home, no, it can't stay long. Mama gotta pack that suitcase up again. He's going far away, I sure hope one day I won't be chasing daddy's train. Train is leaving on Sunday, I'll turn and try to pull away. Down the road I'm running all in vain. Waved my arms and I called out, daddy's arms can't hear me now, but I keep on running, chasing daddy's train. Yippee, daddy home, no, it can't stay long. Mama gotta pack that suitcase up again. He's going far away, I sure hope one day I won't be chasing daddy's train. Now, because I used to live and work in Nashville, I decided this song should be under 4 minutes, so I cut out this verse. Now I'm mad at myself for cutting out this verse. But I told my wife, I said, I think I should go. But she said, don't even think about it. It's already over to be it. Don't even think about it. So that train's already left the station. Little boys turn into men, cats in the cradle once again. This old highway steals my only joy. ones I love are safe all right, but tears still well up in the night, just like when I was a little boy. Yippee daddy home, though I can't stay long, Mama gotta pack that suitcase up again. He's going far away, I sure hope one day I won't be chasing Daddy's train. Dad retired in '89, stepped off that train one last time. Mama threw that old suitcase away. All too soon, God called him home. Now Mama sits home all alone, but we know we'll all see him again one day. Yippee daddy home, no I can't stay long, Mama gotta pack that suitcase up again. He's gone far away, I sure hope one day I won't be chasing Daddy's train. One day I won't be chasing Daddy's train. Thank you, thank you, thank you. Yeah, I'll never be half the man my old dad was. But I also don't plan to be as hard-headed as he was. Boy, I tell you what, he was something else now. I wouldn't trade it for the world, wouldn't trade it for the world. The roots and the wings. I wrote this song for my own wife. It's called Homegrown Love. We've been married 45 years or so, something like that. We met in college in 1975 in North Georgia, and we've been together ever since. A little song called Homegrown Love. There is a love, a special kind, so many are searching for, so few will ever find. It's warm and friendly, it's tried and true. It's a lifelong love made just for me and you. Homegrown love, the natural kind. It's sweet and it's pure, like the fruit still on the vine. Homegrown love, it's a tie that binds. Homegrown love, like yours and mine. You can't find it on a bar stool, in a smoke-filled room, or in a one-night stand or a midnight rendezvous. It takes a lot of sunshine, it takes a lot of rain. Once you've tasted homegrown love, your heart will never be the same. Homegrown love, the natural kind. It's sweet and it's pure, like the fruit still on the vine. Homegrown love, it's a tie that binds. Homegrown love, like yours and mine. Now you and I, we like simple things, like a silver summer moon and a golden wedding ring, like the sound of laughter and a baby's smile, knowing we got the kind of love that makes this life worthwhile. Homegrown love, the natural kind. It's sweet and it's pure, like the fruit still on the vine. Homegrown love, it's a tie that binds. Homegrown love, like yours and mine. Homegrown love, like yours and mine. Thank you, thank you, thank you, Homegrown Love. I also wrote this next one. Would you like to hear it? Oh boy. My friend, the one that I just sang was written by my friend Mike Davis and myself. Mike now is back in, he was in Charleston at the time, but he's back in Spartanburg now, Spartanburg, South Carolina. This next song I wrote with my friend Daniel Kraft. He lives in Anderson, South Carolina. He's a retired psychologist, so he knows things. you know. He knows stuff even about me that I don't even want to know, you know what I'm saying. He analyzes me, you know what I'm saying. I said, I don't want to hear it, fella. You know, I'm all right. I'm all right. Don't be starting that stuff on me anyway. He's a great guy, though. He and I went to college together in North Georgia about 200 years ago. And, but Dan and I write songs because he sends me lyrics. And we've been doing it for years and years. So he was walking on the beach in Hilton Head Island, South Carolina. And to the cadence of his steps on the beach like this, he was writing a song in his head. That's where he writes the songs in his head. Then he sends them to me on the email. Well, he sent it to me on the email. And he said, this is a song I just finished, a lyric about a funky old guy and a funky old bar in Hilton Head Island, South Carolina. And so I sent him an email back and I said, Dan, don't you know there ain't been no funky people or funky bars in Hilton Head in 50 years. And that's the truth too, anyway. So he said, you know, the truth is, that's true. So we changed the whole song to Edisto Island. Still plenty of funky people on Edisto Island. So we moved the whole song to Edisto Island. Anyway, the song's about a funky guy minding his own business. In the door comes a fancy woman and gives him all the trouble he knows what to do with. It goes like this. Barnacle Bill met Betty at a bar on Edisto. He was salty and she was floozy. That's how the story would go. Betty was looking for trouble. Should have left old Bill alone. It's a pretty good bet they'd have never met had Billy not been about stoned. Now Bill was drinking doubles. Betty slinked into the bar. She jiggled up to old Barnacle Bill. She said, son, I'll make you a star. Billy sat there speechless, dazzled by her bling. She hoisted up her cleavage and said, make mine a Singapore sling. Whoa, watch out, Billy boy, she'll get you every time. She's coming on like $1,000,000. She ain't worth a dime. Perched up there on that bar stool like a big bordello queen, with there's poison in her kiss and ice water in her veins. That's right. Now Billy started getting nosy. Y'all know what nosy did to the cat. Billy started getting nosy, and the door flew open wide. In walked Betty's boyfriend, said, mother, you just died. Betty slid under the table. The bartender shot out the light. The band played Nearer, My God, to Thee, and the boys commenced to fight. Whoa, watch out, Billy boy, she'll get you every time. She's coming on like $1,000,000. She ain't worth a dime. Perched up there on that bar stool like a big bordello queen, but there's poison in her kiss and ice water in her veins. Now every story has a moral, and the moral of this song, you should never put your business where your business don't never belong. Barnacle Bill's a dead man, cut long and deep and cut often, but they cleaned him up real good and put a six-pack in his coffin. Whoa, watch out, Billy boy, she'll get you every time. She's coming on like $1,000,000. She ain't worth a dime. Perched up there on that bar stool like a big bordello queen, but there's poison in her kiss and ice water in her veins. Watch out, Billy boy. Next thing, thank you. Barnacle Bill and Betty. We get so many requests for that song here and there, some of the places when Dan's with me, when we're performing, that he hates that damn song now. You know, I said, why do you hate that song? He said, I'm tired of singing it. I said, it's kind of like you like that with Jimmy Buffett and Margaritaville. You know he's tired of singing that song. But I wish we had a big old hit like Margaritaville anyway. There would be that anyway. All right, guys, let's see. I'm supposed to stop after about an hour, so I think Doug and Bunny are going to give me the high sign because my phone is out of reach over here. I don't know what time it is, and I ain't going to ask anyone in the audience, because when I say that, especially in the Irish pubs, what time is it? They never give me the time. They give me the time that they want me to think it is. That's what they always do. Anyway, I'll do a couple of more songs and I'll get a break.
Audience says you can take a break.
Say again?
Audience says you can take a break.
All right. I'll do one more. Is that all right?
Okay.
I'll do one more and we'll take a break. The format is I was going to do about this amount of music and then take a break, and I'll come back and do about another hour or so. We hope to wrap this up by 6:30 or so that we wrap it up by dark. You know, that's to get ahead of the bad traffic, you know, and also to get ahead of the mosquitoes. You know, got to do that. Anyway, all right, let me do this one. Which one? I would like to remind you guys that I do a live stream with the sort of thing that I'm doing right now every Monday night on my Facebook page. If you find my schedule over here, this blue thing in the briefcase, or my business card, or look me up on Facebook. You can catch me on Monday night with my good wife running all the tech and doing all that business, and we take your requests and people talk to each other that know each other. I've been in the music business a long, long time, including 20 plus years on the Irish pub circuit. And so for more than 20 years, I've been taking tours to Ireland and Scotland and that kind of thing. So a lot of these folks know each other from our travels together as well. And so you get a chance to visit and make your request on the live stream on Monday nights. That having been said, I'll do an Irish song to wrap up this set. Thank you, guys. Familiar melody, the same melody as the Scottish song Loch Lomond. This is the Irish. It's a nice love song. And if I was in the Irish pub, I would say this. It's a nice love song. Should we have a toast? Should we have a toast for all the lovers in the audience? See, this is what we do in the pubs. A toast for all the lovers in the audience and those who wish you were. That should cover everyone. Are you ready? Here's to our spouses and significant others. May they never meet. Cheers. Okay, it's the wrong venue for that. Oh, you gotta have fun. You're gonna be dead a long time. May as well enjoy yourself. Beautiful old love song called Red as a Rose. I'm over the hills, bonny Irish lass. Come over the hills to your darling. You choose the road, love, and I'll take the vow. I'll be your true love forever. And red is the rose that in yonder garden grows. Fair is the lily of the valley. Clear is the water that flows from the Boyne. My love is fairer than my sister Kate, 'tis not for the grief. My mother, 'tis all for the loss of my bonny Irish lass. My heart is breaking forever. And red is the rose that in yonder garden grows. Fair is the lily of the valley. Clear is the water that flows from the Boyne. My love is fairer than it. 'Twas down by Killarney's green woods that we strayed, and the moon and stars were shining, and the moon shone its rays on her locks of golden hair, and she swore she'd be my love forever. There is the rose that in yonder garden grows. Fair is the lily of the valley. Clear is the water that flows from the Boyne. And my love is fairer than any. Clear is the water that flows from the Boyne, but my love is fairer than it. red as the rose. Thank you, guys. I'm going to take a wee bit of a break. We'll be back in a few minutes. Thank you very much.